I'll be married next month in the Philippines. Do you know how long the PSA is taking for the official marriage certificate? I will need this before applying for the CR1. Yeah, you know, we have a great deal of information in a long article on getting married in the Philippines, just because we do the Philippines so much. And I think most of it, in fact, was written by Rick here because he got married there. You're going to need a few weeks. 2 weeks would even be tight, because you've got to apply. There's a waiting period before you can get married, where they post it. I guess, assumably, just in case there's any objections, they post your permit, your application, and so on. So it's not like the United States, or it's not like Vegas, where you can do a drive-through wedding, and which is you can actually do here. I'm not joking. It's a process there. They have a lot of public holidays, and you know, there are some jurisdictions, believe it or not. I think off the top of my head, I think Quezon City might be one of them, where they won't even perform marriages for foreigners to Filipinos. So you got some hoops to jump through. I would research that first before you start taking off work, because just thinking you'll go there and in 2 weeks you'll come back and be married, it may not happen. It might take you 3, it might take you 4. The bureaucracy there is notoriously maddening, and you know, you're just going to have to allow for a lot of time. That's why from the Philippines, the K1 visa is much more common and popular. However, I don't want to discourage you from it. I'm just saying, do your homework, get stuff lined up before you go, if you have a limited time. Now, if you're retired, or you know, can take self-employed or whatever, you're in a situation where you can stay as long as you need to get this done, then yeah, absolutely, you can absolutely get it done. And in the long term, a CR1, getting married there, will save you money, because you won't have to do the adjustment status. So I'm not trying to discourage you from it. I'm just saying you got to have some time. Don't book a return flight unless you can book it like a month later. If you try to go and you got 2 weeks off and you're booked a return flight, 2 weeks is tough. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm sure there are people who have got it done, but you're going to have to look at the Philippine holidays, because there's 14 of them, and then occasionally they just come up with a special holiday, like when the Pope came, they just declared it randomly a holiday. So you know, they have strikes, they have, you know, transportation strikes, all kind of things happen there. The gears are not greased very well in the Philippines, unless you got some money you can grease them with, which I don't recommend. So yeah, you can absolutely do it. But you say, how long does it take? You know, again, to get that marriage certificate in your hand is not just a matter of the PSA issuing it. It's a matter of you going through all the steps necessary to get there, which includes that. How long do you have to post it? Is it a week?
So it's 10 business days, and I actually showed up in 12 days, not business days, and found out it turned out to be 2 weeks, because you add in the weekends.
So it's basically a 2-week waiting period where they have to post it, publicly post it. If you need a ceremony for the family, which is a common, what many people have done is do some kind of ceremony. Even to all attendees, it could appear to be a wedding, but you just don't actually get married, and don't talk about being married, and don't go showing pictures of a marriage license, because if the embassy thinks you got married, even, they'll deny a K1. So you have to be clear to everybody that this is we're having a ceremony, and call it an engagement ceremony or whatever you want. So that's one way people have got around it. They've done the dress, the whole big ceremony, but they didn't actually get a license, get married, register it, do any of that. Just have a ceremony so that the local family can attend. That's one way people have kind of solved this dilemma.
Now, just to add on to that, there's 2 different types of licenses and certificates in the Philippines. The first marriage license actually comes from the civil registrar's office. You can get that at kind of like the county courthouse or the local office there. My wife and I actually obtained our marriage license from the city and county building in Manila, in Metro Manila. And then once we received that marriage license, we were married by a judge and a magistrate. And so once you get that marriage license or certificate signed, it's not an official marriage certificate at that point. Then you have to have the civil registrar's office transfer the certificate over to the PSA. The PSA is the Philippine Statistics Authority. They keep all the records, civil records, in the Philippines. They're one of the few countries that I'm aware of that actually has a marriage registry. So then they register that at the PSA, and right now, it's my understanding it's taken approximately 2 months to obtain the marriage certificate from the PSA, and that's a little different from getting the marriage license, which Ben covered very well. It takes a couple of weeks just to get that. So in your question, Michael, you stated that you're going out to get married, so we kind of assume that you're looking for the steps and procedures for being able to get married. So Ben covered that very well, but if you're actually looking to get the marriage certificate from the PSA, you can add another 2 additional months on top of getting married. So this is a very long process. This is not for the faint of heart, and you've got to have some time to do it. Now, the good news is you do not have to be in the Philippines during this period, but you do need to show up to sign the paperwork to get the marriage certificate. You need to be there for the marriage, of course. Then you can travel back to the U.S., and it's just going to take some time to get the actual marriage certificate from the PSA. Your spouse can do that. You can actually order it online once it's available. I know my wife went down there several times and escalated to a manager because it was just taking so long, and we wanted to get moving with the process. But I hope we covered both areas there for you. If not, give us a call. We can clear this up.
If you found this video useful, it would mean a lot to us if you could hit the like button and comment below to let us know what you think. You can also ask your own immigration questions in the comments below. If you want to make sure not to miss any of our future videos, we invite you to subscribe here on YouTube, and be sure to click the notification icon so you can be alerted whenever we publish a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, where you can watch our regular immigration Q&A live streams.